2018. Second one of these today. And, it's me. I've went out, I've bought things, but which required me to sort out my gaming thing. But George, over the last week, I've already wanted to sort it out. And that'll be something we do. I want to stream for a good long while. I don't think any of my recent ones have been that long. Like, I want at least 2 hours of get stuff done, all firing on all cylinders, the whole thing. That's the goal. Hey there. So we're live for at least 2 hours. That's the goal. First main thing we're doing is we're going to get all the stuff on the bed onto that unit there. And then, I'm doing all right. We're going to get to this. So, this is where all my gaming is. You guys know me. I am somebody who prefers older game consoles to newer ones. And I was out earlier and I went into my, local CEX. In fact, I ended up in 2 of them. My biggest Lego set, it's between the Star Destroyer that's up there and the UCS Falcon that's back there. But I was in my local kind of CEX and I did pick up some more games that was missing. Also, now that I've bought an original Xbox, I've kind of been buying stuff for that. But anyway, I'm going to quickly go grab a drink. We're going to get into things. 2 hours. That way I can get a proper amount of things done. Because here's the thing, right? I've got the time to progress with things, and I could hit a brick wall and be out of time again, and be really busy and swamped. So we're trying to avoid that. All right, I'm back. Go Smoothie. I see you've left some comments. I will quickly read them. What is my favorite Lego? That changes all the time. My current favorite set, honestly, is probably the original UCS Falcon up there from 2007. Very real possibility. I mean, he's right up there, man. Though, when Potato God comes in, he will have something to say about that. But, I'll show you guys what I picked up when I was out buying some games. I happened to be passing 2 of these stores earlier, so... And for the price, like, when I tell people I buy video games all the time, they think I'm spending £70 on games. That's what a modern game costs, but I buy retro. So, I picked up some stuff for the PlayStation 2, the Xbox 360, and my original Xbox. My oldest Lego set that I have, I need to put it back together, but the minifig stand from the year 2000 is up there, some of my older. So, some of the things I picked up, I'll be taking their labels off as well. Star Wars Bad Racing for it is Star Wars themed. There's a lot. I played. I happened to go in like that. This is the second day in a row that I went into one of these stores because I'm going to. Been going to this place for the last couple of days, and I've had to pass them to go in, so I keep buying stuff. And there's a whole bunch of games that I've been looking for. Yes, I could order those. It's lagging. I do apologize. Like I could buy all the games I want off the website, but it's £2.50 per item. And in some cases, this game cost £1.50, so it costs more than the value of the game to ship the game. So I prefer, unless I'm buying a console or something really expensive, I typically just wait and see if I can find it in stores. But this was one of these 4-player games. If you got the multi-tap for the PlayStation 2, you can have a lot of fun with this. So that's one of my pickups for today. This game is to replace one that I bought a while ago. Thanks. Basically, I already have this game, right? So this is Lego Star Wars 1 for the PlayStation 2. I already have it. And this is an original case. This is a platinum. That's not why I had to buy another one. This disc has problems, I've noticed. It's not the PS2 because it loads up everything else. Other than that, But I suppose, see the fact that it's done that just as well means I get an original non. I'm not the biggest fan of the platinum cases. But obviously, Lego Star Wars 1 on the PlayStation 2, brilliant game. Matt, do you know what? It breaking wasn't the worst thing in the world, or not working, because, now I get the cool version of the case. The version of the case that's not got Game of the Year and all that on it. Thanks. Normally my collection's a lot better sorted, but due to recently moving the shelves and stuff and rearranging the room, it does look like chaos. But my plan is to also sort that during the stream, or at least get to a better place of organisation within it. It'll probably be another week before my shelves look the way that I want them to look. So there's that. Look at that. Perfectly nice looking case. I also picked up... So I picked this up because I've recently bought an original Xbox. And the OG Xbox is well known for Halo. I already have that. But I saw the special version of Halo 2 in that store. I'm like, you know what, we need to get it because it's got the slide-off case. Now, they've put this sticker on, so I'm going to remove the sticker. But this is something that I saw. I'm like, you know what? I don't typically buy special versions of games. I will when I'm done this, but my collection's not really in the best. See, if you want to do that, you're probably best watching my shorts and videos, because right now my sets are not in the best condition or layout for a tour. It's a mess. You're probably just better off doing that. This is like the steel case thing that you get with it. Yeah, you get a disc in here, and it's the production of Halo 2. I'm like, that is cool. I've got to remove this next. Gentle with this. Yeah, I would like to show it off, but it is just probably about another week away from having it all the way I'd want it to be. Swish. The outer case has been de-stickered. But no, I saw this version of Halo with the case, and I was like, you know what? They had the regular version, right? Thanks, man. I saw the regular version of Halo 2, but I'll show the inside of it, I suppose. But when I saw that you could get this version for a bit more, I'm like, you know what? I'm only going to buy the game once. Let's get the cooler version that they're selling. So I did get that. I also picked up... I'm just pulling them out at random now. Yeah, man, that's cool. I get that. So this next game, like, see, I never had an original Xbox years ago. I had a PS2 as a kid, so I'm familiar with all the like the majority of the games the PS2 had. It's the same with the 360. Those are the main two that I played years ago. But the original Xbox, it's like buying PS1 games for me. It's so much fun because I don't know that much. But one of the cooler games, I'm just removing its or this was in there, like, I looked up a list online of some of the best games, and this was in it. So I do have semi-high expectations. I'm just removing the sticker now. And it's Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb is meant to be a lot of fun. That's for the original Xbox. Also, like I said earlier, we are going to be rearranging the shelf that you're sitting on with all the games, because I found a way that I think would look better. This next one, there's a guy I watch on YouTube. He's called Metal Rock Jesus, right? And he's this guy. He's well known in the gaming community. And I was watching some of his stuff about like what games you should pick up for that console. Because again, like I said, I had really no idea. And this one here, Time Splitters, was one of the ones I got recommended by. So I picked up Time Splitters 2 because it was there. Like, yeah, I could go on like the website and order a bunch of stuff, but then it costs like £2.50 per item, which sometimes you spend, if you buy a lot of things, you're spending a lot of money in shipping. But I do enjoy the... Is that a... There's a goddamn sideways sticker on this. Do you want to worry about that later? But yeah, Time Splitters 2 is one of the other ones I picked up. Because obviously I've only got a handful of games for the original Xbox. I'm mostly looking to build that up. You know, for £1, I couldn't help it. Medal of Honor Frontline just seemed like the way to go. Because I do enjoy the Medal of Honor games. I've got quite a few of them on the PlayStation 2. So that's one of those ones I saw immediately. I'm like, you know what? For the price, it just made sense. So, you know, no regrets there. Pretty cool case on this one. So I got that. Also picked up. I only picked this up because it's 50 pence, and I was like, you know what? I don't typically buy sports games. I've never really been into them, but for 50 pence, let's try a sports game on the original Xbox. And I'm like, you know what? Most of the consoles I buy for do have games this cheap, but it's not ones that I would want. So I saw this and was like, you know what? That seems like a good idea to me. Like, this is a hockey game. SPN NHL 2K5. That means from 2005. No, it's from 2004. All right. Yes, I would. The original Arc 170. That 2005 set is one of the best. It's a gem, and you can buy it for such a reasonable price. I had one. It's one of those ones where it's like all the red bricks. It's the only set I've had in those old colours that was a casualty. But, you know, that could be a fun game, or it could be terrible. It was 50 pence. I'm okay with taking a chance on that. Also did pick up some Xbox 360 games because that's the console I seem to have the most things for. Though, thanks to a friend of mine, and you can find his channel on here, Terrakiller T1. Really funny if he's watching. He was trying to sell me on some Xbox One games over FaceTime recently. So chances are I might start buying some games for that. I don't know. But I got this one here, Battlefield 3. See, I was always a Call of Duty guy. I didn't really play Battlefield, but I thought, you know what, it was there. It was 70 pence. So, of course, I'm going to pick it up for that price. So, that's what I'm saying, like, for the prices of these, it makes sense. Like, hey, I could take a chance on a game. We got Battlefield 3. And is this the last one? Yep, the last game I picked up for £1, Project Gotham Racing 3 for the Xbox 360. I'm going to remove the labeling here. And funny enough, right, this clearly came as part of a bundle with a console or something. Because it says bundle copy, not for... So there's that. So my game plan with this is we're going to take all the Lego sets. I've got Lego sets sitting on the bed from earlier stream. All that is to be removed from the bed and onto that shelf behind me for the most part, and we're going to sort out this shelf because this holds like all my physical media. Yes, there'll be somebody laughing. Hey, look, it's 2025, 2026, and he's doing physical media. I get that comment a lot. Yes, I am. You know, not too bad a haul in terms of games. The most expensive thing there, to be fair, was Halo, being £15 for the special version, but, you know, nice bit of chunk of games. So I will set those for now on top of my PS2, just there. We're going to begin the process of putting stuff back there. I have been trying to get a handle on the organisation. You may have seen my stream from earlier. I made a decent attempt at that. Right, so like I said, it's all the stuff here pretty much is just modern Lego sets. Or not modern, Clone Wars sets. I'm just going to be stuffing them back up here. See, this bit over here, in terms of the room, will probably be the last thing I sort. Because it'll be the bit that requires the least amount of work. We've got the Twilight there. Tell you one thing, my smoothie addiction has not waned throughout these live streams one bit. I like the idea. I think Kashyyyk is something they should revisit. See if Lego Star Wars continue to do the dioramas. I would have wanted the Kashyyyk Order 66 scene. But, you know, we only ever got one prequel era diorama. And it was the very last time they did a diorama. We've got the 2009 Republic Attack Shuttle, which doesn't require... See, he said it. Yeah, we're going for a semi-long stream tonight, Potato. I'm just trying to get some things done. You know what I mean? I'm feeling productive this evening. I'd rather not waste that feeling. I'd rather be on the ball. And showing before you got in here, Potato, we got a whole bunch of new game pickups today. I was out in one of the retro game places. I went... Granted, I spent a small fortune, but some worth of stuff. And we're going to be rearranging all of this because I want to change it up. I've kind of figured out a new way I'd like to do it. This is something I thought of last night, but I've earlier stream I kind of spent moving things about and trying to get... I hate seeing my shelves at the way that they are, but I mean, it's also prevented me from making content. Like, for example, you'll notice I stopped many shorts. But today and yesterday I've started to get back on that. Like, I did need to make some repairs. This gunship needs both its rockets put back on. There's minor things like that. And, oh, excuse me, things like the Battle of Endor that, like, basically that thing needs a whole side of the bunker put back together. So that's a time-consuming fix. But we'll try and get onto the Lego somewhat during this stream. Like I said, I plan to be live for a while because I want to be in a position where I can bring back doing gaming streams because I've not been able to do those, which is unfortunate. But that's a result of circumstance. Thing that you sit and fix is the Back to the Future DeLorean. So that's going up on these shelves anyway. Ooh, that was not smart. Right, so that. But you know, I've not been able to do like a live that's been 2 hours plus, not for a little while that I can think of. So we're aiming for the minimum of 2 hours of just, you know, being busy, getting stuff done that needs to be done. Doing push-ups. I've not got the space in. I've not got the floor space in here for that, man. Anyway, those are both gunships are the 2008 model. When I first started working, we're going back like 4 or 5 years ago. I bought a very poor condition 2013 gunship. I had this whole idea in my head, you know, that I would replace the yellow parts. But then when I found out that some of the printed and stickered elements were yellowed, and how much that would cost me to sort, I gave up and sold it as a bundle lot. Because I went on Bricklink and saw how much I'd have to spend, and at the time, like, I was like, no, I'd rather buy another Lego set. Right, let's get the main video games back the way I want them to be. Or I say we're trying out a new system with it. So I'm taking all of those down, put them in a pile, and just getting right into the sorting side of it. Right, so all the games down. I'll randomize it as well. Right. I'll come into a comment right in a second. I was taking up off this external stuff. But yeah, my friend and a co-worker as well both been convincing me I should start buying stuff for the Xbox One. And again, a console that I have a lot of nostalgia for that I was debating picking up again was a PS4. Because if I bought a PS4, I could stream games from that to YouTube. You would have perfect gaming streams on that. It would limit what games we could play. Like I don't think I'd be able to play a lot of this. But in the PlayStation Store, they do put up these games. So I would not be against buying some games. Right, I'll start getting all this down. DVDs and stuff are coming down from here as well, because they're going somewhere completely different. This whole lower level will only be games, because I want to organise it a specific way. And if I do it this way, it means I don't have to change it up every time I buy a bunch of new games, which so far I have had to do it that way. Yeah, let's get all this out of here. Honestly, see if you went back 6 months, that was not this much. This has grown exponentially in the last few months. This is insanity. And yes, I do actually find the time to play the majorities. There's some that I've not played yet, but that's just a time thing. And then there's some that I play addictively. Let's get these DVDs down and they can go up that side. So I've got Blu-rays and stuff and VHS up here that need sorting as well. I'll put the invisible hand over here temporarily. It will sit there for like a week. Watch. No, there's all stuff up here. This was great last Monday when I did this, over a week ago, but I've had some thoughts on it. Then I've had some real moments that I've changed my mind and thought, no, wait, this could be done better. Alright. Got my dog in here, so I'm just, he looks a bit confused. It's reassuring him. Oh, things are starting to come off the bed a little bit. I do keep the controllers on top of the piles, but that's it stripped. I don't want them to do any more because they're just going to do them downsized. Fair enough. Right, so we're going to start. I'm doing it by generations. It'll be PS1, PS2, original Xbox, Xbox 360, then Xbox One. Yeah. That's probably how I'm going to do this. So I know that it's 2 piles of PS1 and PS2. PS2 is going to be like maybe 3 piles to be fair. I have all like the white case games, and then I'll try and have all the platinum ones in the second pile. That way there's some organisation. Movies are going to go... I'm not going to bother organising those. They're going to go there. That's a 360 game. So, not yet. I need an original Xbox game or two. Here we go. Star Wars Republic Commando and Knights of the Republic. So that's where the... this is just a rough plan anyway. And then from there it's 360, which will take up so much space. And then it'll be Xbox One stuff. Right, cool. I'm just going to start organising. So again, that's a movie. I'll do that later. That is the Adventure Time video game. What we got here? The other Knights of the Old Republic game. I'm not going to organise these by game because I take them out and then I'll put it on top when I'm done. So there's not much point to me organising those a certain way. Or at least by like what type of game it is. So we've got Gears of War 3 there. Dead Rising. GT Racers for the PlayStation 2. And Television, the history of video gaming. There we go. It's a Blu-ray. I don't know how I'm sorting those yet. Lego Batman PS2. The PS2 and 360 are probably tied for the console I've got the most games for. Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy for the 360. It's another Blu-ray I've not got the chance to do anything with yet. Call of Duty World at War for the Xbox 360. Lost Odyssey for the Xbox 360. The Lego Movie video game for Xbox 360. South Park, the Stick of Truth for the 360. Batman Arkham Asylum. Right, I'm going to come read your comments because I want to drink as well. Alright. Fair enough. Well, that'll do that drink. But you can kind of see the organisational system I'm going for with this. And what we got here? Sega Rally for the Xbox 360. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance for the PlayStation 2. Bust a Block for the PS2. Again, that's a console that I've been buying for a lot lately. The Simpsons game. The Simpsons game I'll keep out because that's actually what's in my 360. Alan Wake. Forza Motorsport 3 for the 360. Wolfenstein New Order for the Xbox 360. Kinect Adventures, because I could not get rid of it. That's another Blu-ray I've got. Try a different file. We've got Medal of Honor Frontline. I do have that on 2 consoles. Why? Because I like to try games on different consoles. When I briefly had that PS3 that ended up yellow lighting, it was the same thing. I bought many games that I already had on the 360. There's the first Gears of War game. Call of Duty 3. Dynasty Warriors Empires, we'll put there. Like Star Wars 2, the original trilogy for PlayStation 2. Again, I have that on the 360 as well. Viva Pinata, we can put there. Gears of War 2 is going there. Hexen for the PlayStation 1. More other types of stuff. We've got Skyrim. Medal of Honor Rising Sun for the PlayStation 2. It's one of these combo games for the 360. The 360, by the way, I'm going to have to move Xbox One stuff over a bit. I'll probably put Blu-rays at the end of this, providing I can do that. So we've got a whole pile of 360 games here. The Phantom Pain, that's Metal Gear Solid. Lego Marvel Superheroes, that can go there. Call of Duty Ghosts and Battlefield 3, so one of my new ones is in there. That's cool. Tekken X Street Fighter. The Italian Job. Great film. Saints Row 2. Batman Arkham City. Batman, Lego Batman, the video game. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. So, seeing as it's now that high, where did I put the 360's controller? Got it sitting around. I said it, there it is. I do intentionally use a wired one, right? Purely because, to me, this makes a bit more sense. I can't be bothered doing with batteries and charge. Plus, I grew up with a console that required you to have a wire anyway, so I'm used to that. It doesn't really bother me too much. The longest streams on a Friday makes sense, but I do sometimes, I'm not here on Fridays. Sometimes. But that would, I think Saturday, I don't know, I'd have to figure that one out. Well, let's get back to it. That's another WRCT Rally Extreme, so we can put that with the Platinum PS2 games. As we can, the Getaway. Oh, good, that's gone up now. Star Wars Battlefront 2. That system might not work out too well, but screw it. Grand Theft Auto 4. Alright, maybe I'm not putting Blu-rays at the end of this. Race Driver Grid. Force Unleashed. One of my new games, ESPN, NHL 2K5. Medal of Honor, Frontline. Time Splitters 2. It's nice to see that I have started to build up a little collection for that. Grand Theft Auto Episodes from Liberty City. Lego Star Wars 2, the video game. Sorry, Lego Star Wars 1, that version I had to repurchase. Star Wars Bombad Racing. Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Star Wars Jedi Starfighter. Indiana Jones The Emperor's Tomb. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7, and I possibly have maybe 1 or 2 more sitting around somewhere in this pile. Possibly. Star Wars Starfighters. It's that game I was playing last night. Loads of fun. We have Halo for the original Xbox is there. And Halo 2, which is the special case thing. Project Gotham Racing. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories for the PlayStation 2. Dead or Alive 2 can go in with those Platinum games. I can put the controller there. The Getaway Black Monday. That dream might get crushed. Star Wars Battlefront. Samurai Warriors. Again, I've not had the chance to play all these, but I am planning to sit down at some point and just, try some of these games. Some more movies. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Minecraft for the Xbox 360. Medal of Honor Underground for the PlayStation 1. Halo 3 for the Xbox 360. No. Duke Nukem Land of the Babes for the PlayStation 1. Sleeping Dogs for the Xbox 360. Grand Theft Auto 3, and that's the Platinum one, so it can go there for the PlayStation 2. World War II tank battles. Alright, I think we have to give up with the whole idea of putting Platinums. separately. I'll start sliding them under this. Theme Hospital for the PlayStation 1. Again, the Simpsons game is going up last because that's in my console. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, Force Unleashed 2, and Assassin's Creed 2 is up there. V-Rally for the PlayStation 1. Final Fantasy for the PlayStation 1. CTR Racing for the PlayStation 1. No, it's one of those multi-packs, the 360. The Complete Saga, that's a must on this channel. Grand Theft Auto 5 and Lego Indiana Jones are there. I think I may have got lucky with the sorting system, or is there just a big pile of certain games I've not come across that are about to just ruin my whole thing? Is my illusion about to be ruined by this? Or have I got the perfect, or I've just chosen this perfectly? Again, I only own 2 Xbox One games, which were games I picked up when I bought the console a couple of years back. And I have never really felt the need to go above that. It's Forza 5 and Grand Theft Auto 5 are like the 2 that I have. I've never felt the need to go any further, but I've recently been looking. I don't know, I didn't really pay much attention during, I'm just going to get these up, during the Xbox One era, PS4 era, because I played the PS4 at that point. That's the one I used more. And to be fair, earlier on, before the stream, I was looking like, do I want to purchase another PS4 just for the streaming ability it would give me? Granted, we'd be streaming a bit more modern games. I know that I cannot put a PS2 disc inside of it, but I know that there's certain games I could get that were on both. I think that's through the PlayStation Store and stuff, but I could be wrong about everything I'm saying right now could be wrong. Atari Anniversary Special, Medal of Honor. Get those up there. This is looking a lot better and it feels more organised. Plus, it means, I mean, in some cases this will work, but it means I'm buying games, which I buy games very frequently. I can fit them in here. It may slow down collecting for some consoles just out of the fear of losing space. Like the Xbox 360. My future proofing plan for this is, see, when it gets too much, simply remove the Xbox One games and have an extra tower of space. And yes, I'm aware of not coming up and reading the comments. I will come read them in a moment. I've not done the movies and stuff. I'm just checking that is. Yep, nothing went down there. And no, there is nothing on the floor. That is the setup. That actually looks really good. I can do what I was saying about having the controllers on top of the games for that system. So the 360 is there. You have the irresponsibly big Xbox controller on top. I'm going to wind that cable in a bit more. You can have the PS2. The Xbox One, not so much because I use that for entertainment. Like when I'm not gaming. And I do not have a PS1 controller because I use those games for a PS1 memory card. What the hell have you guys been saying? There are some interesting thoughts that are being talked about. Right, I need to quickly go to the toilet and we're going to go from there. I do need to organise all the movies and Blu-rays and stuff, but I think that looks a hell of a lot better. It also highlights that I buy far too many video games. I'm going to guess that the 360 is still on top in terms of game count because I can see that the 360 has 2 full towers, whereas the PS2 has 1 tower and 1 mini tower. So there's no way that those are anywhere near equal. You gotta admit though, that does look pretty good. All right, sorry about that. We are back. But no, that's looking pretty good. I'm gonna put the Simpsons game up the top there, but I need to figure out the other stuff. But it's looking great. I don't know if I was right in getting the Xbox One its own little section because it's only 2 games. I mean, I don't feel that that's worth giving a tower to. Obviously, it's not dumb. What are we discussing? What insane things are being said? Hmm. Right, so the Xbox One stuff can actually go on top of that drawer. If I start buying like crazy for it, then sure we can do something else. But until then, it's staying like that. I think Blu-rays could be next. Now I only have a small handful of Blu-rays. It's not some. I have a co-worker that I hang out with, right? And he collects a lot of Blu-rays, mostly anime ones. So, like, he has kind of got me into the whole thing of buying the Blu-rays. I've got a couple. I've got the two that I'm holding right now. I've got more than this, by the way. I've got three of them holding. I've got The Shining, Room 237, and Cowboy Bebop. So they're going to sit there for now. I do have these VHS tapes. They're going to go there. Thank you, RS. Like, TV stuff is just going to go as a. So what? I don't use them that frequently, so it's a big ass tower of them. Again, I do have more Blu-rays, like I've got some of the Transformers movies on that, so I do need to figure out what the hell I've done with those. I know it's not the most legally live stream, but trust me, like this. Also, a lot of these movies were sitting on that shelf as well, so this goes towards the, sorting out. I'll show you what I've been up to. It's kind of just that over there. And over here, I do have one of my other Blu-rays. Again, it's something pretty small. I do like the ones that can slide out like that. We're almost an hour in. That's crazy. Put a couple more of these to go up, and that should pretty much be it for dealing with my physical media stuff. Right, let's take you guys over and show you how I've managed to set this up. Not the greatest, not the best, but it's something that works. So we're fighting to the death over what? I gotta start monitoring these comment sections more. This is crazy. This stuff gets crazy. Right, so here's the categories I've got, and obviously expanded round here. None of these sets are staying here. So I've got PlayStation 1. Is that? Oh god, does that come loose? I'm gonna have to do something to that shelf. We'll do that in a moment. So PlayStation 1, that's PlayStation 2, that's also PlayStation 2. Now, annoyingly, there's that one that has to sit there because you would not be able to put it in that gap. That's original Xbox stuff. Xbox 360, Xbox 360, more Xbox 360. Coming up here. I've started collecting Blu-rays, so there's some of them. I need to locate where I put the other ones. I do have the original Star Wars VHS tapes. And all this is just more physical media. And of course, Xbox One games. You know, eventually that will just reach the height of the ceiling, because of course it would. I need to go get the drill, because that shelf, I've just noticed it has a problem. And I intend to fix that as swiftly as possible. You know, I don't want to go to sleep later and suddenly I have, you know, Doom on the PS2 inserted into my forehead. I'll fix that and then we'll go from there. No, wait. It's in that room. So I'll fix this, right, and then we'll decide what we're doing. I'm going to put this extra screw through this. Why is that reluctant to go in? Tighten the screws in this. I mean, I don't want adding additional screws into it. There was only meant to be 3. There is 3, but I'm adding a 4th. You guys are insane. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what to say about this. I know, I want to be sure, because I did not like what was going on there for those brief few seconds. Couple of screws. You guys are nuts. Alright. that seems secure to me. Perfect. There we go. So, what about snipers on roofs? You know, I wish I had a response to some of the things I'm hearing. I don't. So, here's where we're at, right? We have just finished sorting out the physical media shelf. That's all good. That's how I want it. So, next, we're going to continue to gut the bottom of this to clear out the stuff and kind of organize it. We're also going to, since we're kind of working on that back shelf, there's a couple things that are in other parts of the room that I want to be on it. So, yeah, keep commenting. By the way, that helps me quite a bit. Even if you're just commenting crazy of some of the filming equipment that I use. What else we got here? Some other miscellaneous items. Right, this is a weird one. So I had some of you might remember I had a PS3 for a while that yellow lighted. I have an empty PS3 Complete Saga case because that was stuck in the machine when it yellow lighted, and you can't seem to remove those without tools. So a random case, I don't know what the hell's going to do with it. I did find. There we go. There's two of my other Blu-rays. Again, I started buying cheap Blu-rays. We got Transformers: Dark of the Moon, and we have The Hangover. I'm sure I also have Ted on Blu-ray as well. Well, there we go. That fills that. That looks a bit better. Right, what else have we got? That is all things that I need to sit and organise. This is the stand. I know you've asked about Potato God. We're still not any closer to being able to deal with that. Another bag that needs sorting. Remember I was telling you I couldn't finish the stand, Potato God, right? Because there was bits missing, or I didn't have enough parts. I found this when we were taking things apart. Big ass bolt bag. So that is very useful. For more physical media. I also have this big box of manga that is definite that I need to put somewhere. Right, what else we got? That's the instructions for the most recent live build, even though it was like nearly 2 weeks ago. Probably was actually 2 weeks ago. You guys are insane. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to have to remove the incomplete stand in order to, because the UCS B-Wing is coming out. I thought of a place I want to put it, and I'm not sure if it'll fit where we get the joy of finding that stressful thing out together. Welcome to Captain's Production 72. Sometimes I stress myself out on stream. It's not funny, but it does happen. I'm going to remove Palpatine. There's a few Lego sets that are up here currently that I am going to move off because I do hope, I'm really hoping the B-Wing can sit because I've had this idea in my head for the better part of like the last 2 days. If it doesn't fit, I'll be so annoyed because this would be the ideal place for that set. If not, the UCS Slave 1 might be able to benefit from being there. I like that I have these sets in the dark, the way that I do. These are sets that should be, you know, in full view. I'm also finding more physical media that I put in there. We got Adrian Edmondson, Rick Mail, Guest House Paradiso, very funny movie. Since it's Blu-ray size, I'll just chuck it on top of the Blu-rays. So there's more sets in here. Again, I put them here due to convenience, probably like a good 6 months ago, because this just worked well, but... oh crap, did I just kick you? Sorry. Sorry, buddy. I didn't mean that. Eh? You're right. Yeah. Oh, thanks for the kisses. You go up on the chair, right? We can go there for now. And I'm already smashing parts of it. If you've ever owned the 2012 UCS B-Wing or held one, you'll know that that set is not fun for moving. And I bet you it's really dusty as well. Oh! One of my favourite sets, and it was on the UCS B-Wing from 2012. It's one of the coolest UCS sets, but due to its flaws, it doesn't get a lot of love. Alright, it fits where I wanted it to fit. What the hell have you guys been on? I'm loving the conversation, but I'm just curious. There we go, guys. I have successfully rehomed the B-Wing to a place where it can actually be seen and enjoyed. It means the Slave 1 has to probably stay there, but I mean... The Slave 1 is a more versatile display model than the B-Wing is, if I'm being honest. The B-Wing, however, is very, very dusty. B-Wing looks cool, plus it'll be near the Super Star Destroyer when it's done. That looks brilliant. Oh, this is some juvenile conversation, that's all I'm saying. It is a big set. That is an understatement with the size of the set. And unfortunately, I've had that sitting in there for the better part of like 6 months. It's not I don't like displaying the set. It was a case of, crap, where do I put this? Like, I dust it and a part falls off. This set does things like that. The two wings, right, that stick up like to test people's patience, I've noticed. And it's a set that I'm always too scared to start adjusting the wings on. You guys just having a battle for a comment section. Is this what's really going on this evening? Right, and no, the UCS slave one would never fit there in a million years. I could go on the opposite side, but I'm not going to do that. Right, a piece did pop out of it. There we go. I have located this little bit from the back of the cockpit. Did fall out. Where's my drink? That looks brilliant, though. I'm happy with that. Yeah, you guys are insane. Right. And you go have the Leia helmet up there as well. Of course, I have misplaced the cleanomajig. Oh, there it is. Sorry, when did there become more of me? That's not in the script. My Back to the Future counter, or the time travel circuits from the DeLorean thing I have that displays, would probably fit that gap brilliantly, but that is we're getting there in terms of the progress. You guys, I don't know, man. I'm gonna climb up, put something up in storage. There we go. There's Obi-Wan Starfighter can go on these shelves for now. Don't see myself particularly touching those tonight to get into any of that, but you never know. Right, what we got in here then? So we got parts for that car, we got the flash speeder, Scooby-Doo set, we have what will be a very dusty Slave 1. In fact, I have actually just figured out a way I'm going to use this space. I'm going to remove all the Lego. I'm going to try something that I was thinking about. Also, one mind, I've got my earphones in my pocket, right? I am going to go to the store after the stream. Well, I might. Probably best plugging that in. For box of tacks. Oh, that's good. We can finally put up those posters under the media shelves. Right, get that out. Excuse me, sorry about that. Scooby-Doo tree there. This set might go in my glass cabinet. This is the biggest set we got as part of Lego Scooby-Doo back in 2015. This is the Mystery Mansion. Part of me's debating going to the... do I? Because then I can't go for another 45 minutes. Okay. One sec. The stream might cut out. I'm going to quickly see how long. Never mind. Forget my idea. They close in like 8 minutes. I'm not ending this stream and walking there in 8 minutes. That's never going to happen. So down here, right, I have this bag, right, that contains what's left of the sail barge. Oh, and I have here the Slave One, which has a stand, which likes to randomly pop out. I want to know who the hell designed the stand on this set. They're not very bright. Now this set is going back in there. This is the UCS Slave One from last year. You do not need as much of a clean as I thought you would. I am actually kind of shocked by how relatively clean that set has stayed. What I'm not shocked at is I've put that goddamn little cleaning thing down again and misplaced it again. No, really, how do I do that so goddamn consistently? Oh, that's ruined my evening. I can't have the Chinese food I was thinking about getting. Oh well. Right. So that bag that contains the remains of my sail barge is going there because I'm not going behind the Slave One, so that way it's hidden by the display. It also means it's not on my floor, that bag. Which would be great to not have on the floor. It's alright, I'll come up with a plan B in terms of food. What the heck? I honestly, I want, but I also don't, the context on this. It would be so funny if a sane person came into this stream. Looked and went, what the hell is this nonsense? Oh, don't do that. Come on. One of the guns has been knocked out of it, but there it is. Django Slave 1 from 02, not 02, 25. But also, this is also one of those weak-ass modern UCS sets that really gets on my nerves. And I have felt like smashing them on one more occasion, but luckily for me, Lego thought of that, and it's a set that breaks itself at random. It is truly a sight to look at and be enraged at. I figure out what's going on back here. Why is one side higher than the other? I like this set aesthetically, but in terms of how well it actually holds together, I hate it. This and the sail barge, I've got the exact same body problem. There we go. It's fixed and it's back in action, and the swivel. We've got the flash speeder over here from 2000, as well as a couple of accessory bits. Are we done arguing and saying crazy things, or do we have more each to say? Check, got a message here. I fixed the other thing I really wanted to fix, so I'm debating what now. So in here, obviously, I have a whole bunch of old sets that are brand new in the box. I'm going to move them up here, right? The fact that I have not built these sets and I've had them since January is unreal. Anyway, I think I can, again, I might not work. We're about to find out. But I think I can get the Scooby-Doo set in here. See, my Pharaoh's Quest stuff's going back up there again. Because it just looked cool up there. I'm going to put the Mystery Mansion in here. Providing it doesn't continue to do that. See, if you collect Lego long time, over the years you'll find that there are some sets that really, really want to self-destruct. I'm currently fixing one of them. I have broke some of the brown pieces on that. we go. That is the Scooby-Doo mansion in with the Monster Fighter stuff. Progress night is actually going quite well. So, obviously, there's the big screw you shelf that needs to be done with, which is the shelf you guys are sitting on. Try to figure that one out, to be fair. See, regardless if it's broken or not, if it's Clone Wars, it's going back over this way, just so it's out my way. And it'll allow for some freedom when rearranging this shelf. So if it's a prequel or thing, it's coming back over here. But I'm not having Clone Wars on the main shelf. All that's over here in its own section. So that's things like the Y-Wing. Hope you guys aren't scaring people away from the stream with the craziness. It'd be funny if you were, but also it wouldn't be. Start putting Clone Wars sets over here, so they're out of the way. What else here is a Clone Wars set? CC-10 Starfighter at the back here. There's not too many of the Clone Wars sets suffered damage during the stream the other week, so I can kind of just do that. Easy enough. Also, there's the few that we just took away from the other shelf, like the AT-OT has to go in here. All this stuff, again, will most likely be done last. It's not the highest priority to do the Clone Wars stuff immediately. I want this shelf next to me, since this is the one you will more so see in videos. I'd rather that one was fixed quicker. Plus, the Clone Wars stuff has less sets that I need to spend idiotic amounts of time fixing. We're calling this, well, the Saga shelf has more stuff. I mean, that's a good reason to get shot and died. That doesn't make any sense. Right, so that shelf, nope, there's one more thing on it. There's also got one more thing on the bed as well. What else we got? It's that cannon in there. Oh. That's finished. That is a shelf I'm going to assume has no Clone Wars on it. I've got to be careful with the dog. Right, so there's part of the Y-Wing on here, as is the Malevolence. Anyway. So, like, the Y-Wing engine. I'll see you later, man. Right. Malevolence, and then that should be it as far as taking from this goes. Yes, it is. Again, a lot of this, well, not so much a lot of this, but most of this stuff on the other bit still needs repaired. But at least I have all the Clone Wars stuff in one place and all the OT stuff. Yes, there's 2 Falcons up there. Those are kind of something that will get dealt with at the very end. Right, I need to figure out where we're going with that. There's Palpatine's shuttle there as well, actually. I can sit sideways for now. I don't have a shelf tall enough currently arranged that has space. There's the big Clone Wars stand as well in question. That's a fast speeder, that's to go there too. Mm. I'm gonna move this set back a bit. I like it, but I also want the Colmore stand to have presence. Plus, I might get something else to go in there. Tall set wise, eventually. Wink, wink. I have a set in mind I want to buy. This is the stand. There's a few other things in it that are not meant to be there. But this is the stand that Potato God was mentioning. I have found parts that could fill all this in, or a good chunk of it. See, I'm trying to avoid going to the Lego store or Bricklink to buy more parts. I really am trying so hard not to. So perhaps we'll take a break from organizing in the next stream. Or, do you know what? I'm tempted. I have the parts right there. You guys don't know how tempted I am to just try and sit and work on that for the rest of the stream. Do you know what? I might actually. No, I refuse to take from other Lego sets. But we have this big bulk bag of parts, as well as some other things have had arrived, so we're not going to finish it, but we have a good chance of getting a good chunk of it done. Do you know what? Just because I would like a chill rest of stream where I'm not doing reorganizing of everything. Sorry. Do you know what, guys? That's what we'll do. So I do also have this bag here that contains some parts for this project. Oh. Oh. Oh, by the way, this means when I'm live building, you can see the build and my collection behind me. That'll be cool. Alright, let's see how much of this we can do. Right, well, we have this bag of bits here. Let's see how much of this we can actually add to. And then after that, we'll call it a stream. But I'm confident that this could fill in a good chunk of the foundations. I'll probably have to order the grey top bits online, but for the most part, I should be able to fill in a lot of the structural bits on this. Maybe, look, if I get lucky, maybe we can fill in the entire main structure on this. Because I don't mind all this being... No, you're out on me automatically. You make everyone in here severely uncomfortable. Not to mention you say a lot of messed up things. And you try to bully somebody for something they can't help. So, no, bye. To a lot of people, this channel is a safe space. I would rather you weren't ruining that. Right. Yeah, let's just get right into it. KSO is here. Nice. Is there another way I can position this so you guys can actually see the stand? Oh yeah, if I push this back. And then bring you forward. That's been a while, man. Good, we can continue the Clone Wars stand. Getting this complete will help a lot with some projects. Because it means when I'm not filming the... Because by the way, I have like 1 or 2 more episodes, right? Of collecting the complete saga to release, right? I'm building a figure stand. I have 1 or 2 episodes more of that to release. And then I have out of episodes until my next batch of figures arrive. And keep in mind, those are all pre-orders, so they do take a while to get here. So... it means in the meantime, I can film the Clone Wars version of that on here as well. So it adds to my content. Oh, I've got loads of these big bits. See, these will help. That will build up the structure of what? Do I have more? I may have, yeah, I've used them anyway. Anyway, let's keep going with the stand. So this will probably be the last thing I do on stream tonight, apart from maybe like just tidying up in general. But hey, look, I have this is the second stream of today, and I was going to continue with the shelving and fixing that, but part of me just wanted to chill and do this, so there's also that. Plus, this will help give me a good idea of how much more parts I'm going to have to order off Bricklink to finish this project. I'm hoping this brings that number down a lot. We will find out if it does help. So I did not know I had this bag of parts till we moved the furniture around, and I found it underneath some things in storage, and I was just in it all. I was like, oh, good, that will help continue the project. It's also got loads of these grey bits that I've been needing, so it means that part of it can continue on as well. So who knows, maybe I can get a full slat or something built up, or the foundations for it up before we run out of parts again. Be interesting to see how far we can get. Right then, we can get these parts up here. I didn't do anything. I don't even remember. Whatever I did, it was clearly nothing, so I don't remember. I don't even know if I streamed on Easter. I probably did. Oh, you want a cruise? Nice. There we go, this thing's actually taking shape. Right, perfect. Add that in there. You can start adding more of these. This is meant to hold all the Clone Wars minifigures. I'm planning, that series is coming back. So I'll have episodes of collecting every Clone Wars minifigure. Those will start to release at some point late this month. Possibly early May is when I'll start to have all that releasing again. Because I need to dig through some of my storage to find certain minifigures that I put away in places. And from there we are pretty much golden. Because I regrettably so put some things away in storage that I cannot find. So I'd have to reorder. They're cheap enough figures. Because KSO193 has been bullied and harassed by that user, and I don't want that person in here bullying and harassing people. I'm not going to tolerate any of that crap. Like, that person's got a history for doing that. So I don't... First, when
that person messaged. I didn't know KSO was here, but like my point still stands on that one. There we go. It's building up some levels. There's a lot of these grey 2x4s in here. That is, I did not know. I knew there'd be parts in here, but this is an added bonus. It means I might not have to order so many of those going forward. Bag has loads of them. I will be continuing my rule of not using those as structural parts, just so that I can conserve them for when they're actually needed. Build that up another bit. Perfect. See ya. Right, okay, we've got to get these parts in here. So we are more or less just doing structural stuff for the rest of the life. I did want to do all-night sorting, but I was out and about today. I was busy, so as a result, I am tired. But no, even if I don't finish the stand, at least I'll know where I stand in terms of bad pun there. In terms of like how much I need to finish this parts wise. In there as well. So that should be solid. But all these big giant pieces at the back. What did that person say? You know, like, KSO, you know the rules, man. If you feel the need that you have to time someone out for something that they're saying, then by all means. Or if that person has been like an ass to you previously, you know what? That's why you're one of the moderators here, man. Right, we're making progress. Cause I know that you, Potato Gob, specifically, were asking where this project went. It was originally going to be on hold till I bought more parts, which some of those parts did arrive. I've also got another thing behind me somewhere with parts in it. I didn't think about this when I was remodeling the room, but this will be a cool live background. So I'm here building whatever I'm building. And once this is fixed, you'll have some sets behind me. Like, that'll look nice. That'll be the proper way to, you know, display that. So even if this runs me over the 2 hours I was planning to be live, I'll keep going to this. All right, man. Right, we're going to keep building up this area. Goodbye. No, so KSO beat me to it. Like, come on, man. Those people who are under the age of 18 watch these streams. Like, come on, man. Like, have the decency to not comment that kind of stuff. No, man, that's fine. If you gotta go, you gotta go. Right, that is on there. Put that in there. I've also been building up this big stack of grey parts just to separate. I've got a few stacks of these, just about the, again, those are the top bits. But it's been so long since I replaced this series. I was only meant to be a temporary thing with the Complete Saga one, because I thought it would take me ages to start finding figures from that, right? And I surprisingly kept finding figures. In fact, I think next week I have a huge lot of figures for the Complete Saga on their way. So that will be a nice bit of content coming from that. I'll finally be able to make some more episodes. Right, okay, so this contraption here can go there. But I'm just building up one of the kind of structural bits and I'll connect it over. But it is going quite well. Hopefully. Again, another I suspect that some of these come from a previous project. I wish I knew where all this was when I was building the Complete Saga stand, because that actually did require me to go on Bricklink for that one as well. But the stand that holds my Complete Saga stuff, that's went through a few design changes. The one where I've got now, where it's none of the figures block each other out, which is probably the optimal look. This will not be the same. The figures will block each other a little bit. There's 126 characters I have to fit on that. But there's probably more Clone Wars characters than that, so... I mean, that one's kind of funny. But no, like, the point should remain, like, you know, there is people a bit younger who watch these streams here. I'll figure that one out in a minute. Get that there. Alright, okay. Well, it's almost... Hey, we've got one of these, you know, up bits done. It's probably a better name I can think of for that. But one of the internal stand structures finished. Plus, we'll probably get more. We've also built up these upper bits. So, I mean, the bag's only halfway done, and we have the 2 packets of parts I've got. So, progress is good. Progress is really good. Right, okay. Yeah, in better timing, I found these so we can start to basically make this. It is steps. So this is for all the characters that released as part of the Clone Wars lineup, because in 2028 I want to do a video called 20 Years of Clone Wars minifigures, and this stand will also be a part of that video as well as the main series it's for. So that will end up being worth it. I've not bought CMF figures, I think, since... the last time I bought CMF figures was when the Marvel line came out, like, wow, 5 years ago? And I ended up selling those. We're building a stand for a project. It's all like steps that are grey, but right now you guys can only see the internal sections of it. There we go. Well, Joe, what? we've managed to build up one. Let's see how many of these we can actually build up. So obviously the internals, right? That's always going to have to be multicolored. It also just saves on, you know, bricks as well. I wouldn't call... I thought all that was funny. I thought that war between you and Potato God was quite entertaining. The fact that you were commenting RPG and all that, like... I thought that was a good laugh. I was confused, but it was funny. Trust me, man, don't worry about it. I've had way like weirder or worse things put in the comments of these streams. So, I wouldn't worry about it. Alright, okay, what other parts do we got? At least that's a lot more complete sitting on the shelf, even if it's just by a small amount. Again, another one of these. That's perfect that we keep finding those. All these 2x4s, initially, if you guys, granted, I'm assuming a lot of you won't. My favourite Star Wars set is the 2007 UCS Falcon, the first version of that. Continue along with these. I wasn't going to do this, but the fact that the bag was there and the fact that I wanted to keep streaming, but I don't want to touch the shelf behind me quite yet. Right. Again, another. It's actually quite good that I'm finding so many of those, because I thought those would be the parts I'd be ordering in bulk from Bricklink. Surprisingly not. I'll probably have to buy more innards for this. You're cooked. That's not great. I wouldn't call that swearing. A march of war! I couldn't help myself. I thought it'd be funny. Alright, let's get these in. This is the highlight of the stream. Yes, getting some of the organisation of the discs and stuff is brilliant. But outside of that, getting this done, or getting a lot more progress on it. See, I normally, whenever I get paid, right, me and a bunch of co-workers, we go like to retro game stores and stuff like that, and we go to, you know, we'll go into going into the Lego store if there's one nearby. So chances are, if I don't have enough parts now, I will in the coming, you know, days. Now, there are loads of small 1x1s and stuff in this bag. I want to preserve those for when we have gaps, but I'm going to start going through this. Got these stacks here of bricks that I ordered for the post. I will actually immediately need to use some of the 1x1. See what I mean? Carrot crimes, what? Yeah, sure. I still should be live later on. There we go. That's a second one of those completed. So I can make it rise up. I wonder how many of these we can get done. Can we get another one done? We should be able to. This is set like this for like a week and a half, the way it was, so... These bricks are stuck tight. These are from a Bricklink sale. And no, this was eBay. From an eBay seller, and they are tightly stuck together, but they will help quite a bit. And doing this, I'm able to save a few bricks here and there. So there's like a bundle of, I think, 50 of these. I probably would be better off Bricklink. I will... See, this is some proper war crime territory we're getting into. Ah, broke it. This bit's simple enough. I just don't have to get any additional bricks. There we go. It's more or less the same of being held by the Allies. Anyway, let's keep going. And do another one of my little part saving techniques by only putting the one end on. It won't really change anything anyway. I did that with the other stand. You know, where possible anyway. And these are official Lego branded bricks that I got as part of that package. I probably could have saved money and just found knockoffs, but knockoff bricks are hit or miss. Like, I have a friend who builds giant mocks and he uses stuff like this as the filling. But from what I understand, the knockoff bricks, it's 50-50 on, you know, how good a connection they are. So I would rather pay more and have this, because this stand is going to be up for like the next 2 years plus. As part of that project, so I'd rather that it was a structurally stable stand. And you know, if that means spending more money, then so be it. There we go, we've got another one of those up. Let's get bricks connecting it on. Don't know if we'll have enough of these to do a whole stand, but we've definitely got enough to cover. I thought we'd be building this and it would just, you know, wouldn't have the top on, but this is looking better. Right, so I'm going to take out this piece and get to work with these. We may get a fourth. It's looking like we will. I'm not finding any I don't see a reason why we won't. A fifth would be a push. Apart from when you drop bricks inside it, that's not particularly fun. Got that there. Sorted. I'm just going to pull out the last of the bricks from this envelope. And just see how far these last bricks will carry me. Don't think these will get these. Yeah, these will not get me to the very top of the stack, but they will get me some of the way. Which, you know what, that's good enough if it does. Ah! Let's tip it. So this is the closest thing you... Nice job, I pinged it down there. So this is the closest thing you guys get to mock building on this channel now. It's me building stands for my very expensive projects and enterprises. Right, we're now back to using these miscellaneous bricks. But hey, that package got me quite far in terms of, you know, what needs doing. Right, we're nearly completed half this top bit. 2022. I would like to get one of the older ones. I'd probably end up with 2008 just because I have the gunship from that year. Or I've got two of those. It is a good set. Some a brilliant era of Lego Star Wars as well. There we go, I've hit the 2 hour mark. But don't worry, the stream will continue until this is done and I just clean up the room a little bit. So you still got some stream left. 2003 looks cool, but it's meant to be a very bad set to move. Like, it's meant to be a very, like, obviously that set is the same age as me, but like, I wouldn't expect it to be a strong set. More grey parts to start connecting those over. I wouldn't mind getting an 03 one though. See, for me, the 2003 one, I was born that year, so I don't have any nostalgia for the set, but the other two, 100%, like the nostalgia alone, even if the other two were not that good, would still drive me to buy one. Very soon, right, we're going to find out if we can get another one of these done, which will be a push. But I think I have something that can help us, so we might be fine. And that's another one complete. It will be a little while before I have another stream on this topic, or on this specifically, but like, it's going well. Right, so is the bag that I am talking in reference to where I think it is, or has my dumbass put it somewhere where I cannot access it? And before the question gets asked, yes, I cannot be bothered getting out of my chair. We're getting out of the chair. Annoying me, I've put them away. God damn it. Is it on over here? Nope. There's only a few bricks in it, but it's a few more bricks than what we have. We're not screwed yet, but like, I would like to know where the hell I've put these. Found them. So 2 of the bricks in here are actually replacement parts for my Gungan sub. But the other parts in here So I'm going to take these out. These are replacement pieces for our set. It's only a few, but that's a few more bricks than what we had. I probably could finish the inner structure if I used the dark grey parts as well, but we're not. I am. Put these other pieces back. I am remaining, you know, firm that I will not be doing that. I'll drink and then we'll continue. That's a good idea. See, the droid army has been unfortunately neglected by LEGO for most of the last kind of, I'd say 15 years. The fact that we rarely ever get decent sets for the Separatists as well, it is a shame, but I think that's because more people build clone armies. Or at least that's the way it was for many years. Alright, good. These grey bits are carrying it, so we might get another one of these done. No, I'm out of those new grey bits already, but you know what? They have provided a big base to work off of. Like, they have filled in a good chunk of that. Kind of almost like cement. That's not too bad. What the? Fair enough. I don't have comments for that one. I don't know what to say about that. Alright, it's looking promising. And hopefully I can get this done, and maybe if we're lucky, we can start the foundations for the next one. Because then there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, there'll be 5 more of these to do. But more of these grey parts. Again, I don't think I've got enough of these to cover the rest of this, but at least I now know my Bricklink bill will go down on the rest of this project. The reason I used to have this stand, I no longer have the stand, is all of its parts went into becoming the complete Saga stand, which again has been revised a bunch of times to be better. That 2013 Battle Pack is a cool set, but I remember when that came out, that got a grilling from the LEGO community. Because only one of the figures in the set was realistically army buildable to a lot of people, being the plain white clone. But I said, like, people... the popular opinion back in 2013 is, you had the olive green, which was the sergeant, which you got in the battle pack. He should have been swapped with the plain white clone in the Corporate Alliance tank droid, was the popular opinion back then. Because here's the thing, right? You're only going to buy one of those Corporate Alliance tank droids because Jango Fett's in it. So why not put the coloured clone in there and take the plain white from that and put it in the battle pack? 2009 is the better army builder. Plus, I'd imagine you can get 2009 cheaper with the figures versus, I mean, 2013, I don't have one, but I'm assuming that set, given it has a Geonosis battle droid, which those are not cheap, and it's got Jango Fett. That set cannot be. I'm sure for like 30 or 40 you can pick up the 2009 one with the figures. But then again, only one of the figures in that set was ever exclusive, and it's not an exclusive figure people care too much about, so it's not valuable. See, I'm going to this event, right, on the 25th with a friend, and it's like this big hall where it's somewhere in Glasgow. And basically what it is you can trade stuff with vendors, because that's what we do every year at Comic-Con. But so it's like this huge kind of toy fair type thing. So we're gonna have a look. So I'm gonna go myself just to see if there's any Lego deals. Which, by the way, I will make a full-length video while I'm there. So guys, see you towards the end of the month. Expect on the 26th or the 27th, I'm going to drop a big video about travel, and it'll be involving traveling there, going to the event, and stuff like that. So expect, I don't often do long videos on this channel, like any longer than 20 minutes. So expect a special video to come out later this month. I'm very excited to do it. Even if I don't pick up anything good, it will still be a cool opportunity to make a long video, seeing as how little I do those. It's looking good. The progress is going well. I know there was parts in that bag, but I didn't realise there was doing a good chunk of the stand parts. This is even more than I thought it would be. There you go. That's another one complete. Now, I do not think there'll be enough parts to do another one of those, but we'll see how far we can get. I mean, I've never been to Brickfest, which, considering I've been a Lego fan for the better part of 18 years, you would think that I have. See, I don't know if I'd go to one of these events myself. I'd have to see if my friend, he's also a YouTuber, he's like Transformers and Power Rangers content. My friend Terra Killer T1, I'd have to see if he'd be up for it, or anybody else that I know. I'll be right back and we'll continue. But that is, it's looking like I won't have to spend too much more money on this project. Sorry about that. I am back, but yeah, we'll continue on. I mean, I'm very pleased with myself. I thought this stream would have had to have ended for whatever random reason. Some notifications showing its high place. I need to check how much charge we got as well. Cool. Oh, you're just making that up off the top of your head. Right, let's continue with trying to get as much of this together as we can. I'll admit, I am feeling a bit ill, so if it ends slightly early because of that, there is also that. But yeah, we're not gonna get. We could, but I would be very shocked if we get another one of these bits put together for the stand, like another. The towers that fill up the whole thing. That add the kind of structural part to it. When I finish the stream, I've decided I want to rewatch a TV series that I watched a couple of years ago and really enjoyed. I want to rewatch the whole thing again, and this is purely because one of the actors who's in the show, it's, by the way, the show's Breaking Bad, because one of the actors, Brian, the main guy in it, Bryan Cranston, keeps posting up funny things online. It's made me want to rewatch the show. He done like a little skit with a song where he kept switching between himself and it's a stand. I want to continue a YouTube series now called Collecting Every Clone Wars minifigure, and I had to stop and I have to rebuild the stand. But essentially, the stand will be designed to hold all those figures. I have like 90% of the figures from the Clone Wars, by the way. So it's not like I'm starting on zero. I was doing episodes of this up until maybe like 10 months ago. And I stopped and started another series because I was on I got slightly bored of it. And I regret that. I started collecting the complete saga, and that was a lot of custom figures, which I've got that up there. So, yeah. That is going quite well, this project. I don't have the parts to finish. I'd be very shocked if I did, but it's more or less to see how much we can get done in the time frame that we got. But hey, nearly 2.5 hours worth of streaming. I not been able to achieve that recently, so I'm quite happy. Hopefully the stream did well, because a lot of you guys, I've noticed that certain times of day are better to release a stream. So if I did one of these at 10 in the morning, maybe 70 people would watch. But see, when I do these later at night, a hell of a lot more people join in. So it ends up becoming a lot more worth it. One sec, I'll read your thing in a moment. What are your options for spaceships? Like, do you have a lot of choices? But hopefully I can be like one big box at the brick wall away from being finished the structure. Those grey parts will get me so far, but I know for a fact I'll just bulk order them from Bricklink, because I want to do a mock, like the way people used to do mocks on YouTube back in 2008-9 with a whole bunch of those. So that's something I plan on doing in the future, so it'll be handy to have a whole bunch of those. You can get them on the brick wall, but I'd rather use that just for the structural pieces. There we go. This one's rising up. All right. Let's see. One of those two there, and sorry if I'm not saying much. I'm just trying to concentrate on getting this done because I know that there's like a limited amount of time on the stream now, just due to battery and stuff. The Ahsoka T6 shuttle. I'd give him the Ahsoka shuttle. That's like the most Clone Wars thing you've got in that list. That or the Arc 170. Like, I would go with either one of those. One second. Yeah. Let's see. Right, we're getting into like I was gonna say we're getting in the final pile there, but we're not even there. Like, I think we'll all get this last one. Do you know what? I tell you what, I'm gonna end the stream as I've done one more of these, just so my phone battery doesn't go dead. Like, if there's a small pile in that bag when we're left, we'll keep going. If there's still a lot of bricks, which is a real possibility, then we'll just call it a day. Oh, fair enough. I mean, if you've got Commander Cody, you're going to want something prequel era and Clone Wars. So that was kind of like my way of thinking. Let's see, get that in there. Right, that's good. Come on, let's get this last one up. It's looking great. Oh, again, I wasn't planning to sit and build this in the stream, but it's ended up being worth it. Plus, I'm going to potentially near the Lego store the next couple of days, so it gives me an idea on how much I'm going to have to grab and of what. God damn, that's 11 at night. One sec, I'll read your comments. I'm just going to get this up to the very last point. Oh, that's not ideal. Suppose it's better to be one stud over than a stud under. Never mind, I have made a little bit of an error. There's more work that needs to be done here. I miscounted a brick. I don't have to break anything, I just have to add. Really? What are they? Right, that should be it. My error should be accounted for, and it should just... Perfect, it all lines up. Right, let's get this row of these on here. There's still a decent chunk of this still to be, you know, structure still to put in and the plating to go on it, or bricks rather, but that is a lot done. I'm very happy with that. So with the remaining parts that we have, I will just continue to see what we can get done. Screw it. The stream's as long as it is, why not just see how much longer we can get out of this. Make the adjustment so I don't do that again. There we go. Those big bits I've got, the bottoms will also most likely help this quite a bit. Put that there. Right. Starting to fill out that big gap a little bit. In there like that, and that will be a more solid connection. Perfect. And I can fill one of those in there, so that means less of these. Yeah, I'm looking at what's left. We're not going to get another full stack, but we are going to get the vast majority of one built. And that means there'll only be 3 of these left to build up. So, to me, that is a win-win. Which means a trip to the pick-a-brick wall should fix the structural bits, and I can always just go online to... Because I think, unless there's more in the bag, which there might be, I've not had a good look, that is the remainder of our supply for these. There we go. You can't actually see the bit I'm working on. I'm not going to bother trying. I just want to get right in there with the parts that are needed and get some of this built up. Oh, that big solid brick. I'm sorry, I'll read your comments in a second. I'm just trying to concentrate on this. Right away. Oh, my dog's away to sleep. Alright. Do you know what? That is a good combo going on the U-Wing. I support that. Well, it's better than what, you know, Lego refused to make a full-size Y-Wing like they did with the 2009 Clone Wars one. They refused to make a colour swap version of that, so I encourage the creativity there in doing that. Holy crap, it is. Don't want to jinx it, but we are looking like we'll get another full stack. Means only 2 of these would need built up. No, it'd still be 3, but like 2 main ones in the outer wall. Seeing what we can get. That is one of those bits, we can chuck that there. Never mind, we have 1 more of those bricks, which I've just chucked on the stand anyway. I'm not going to do it tomorrow or Thursday, but on Friday I will try and make an effort of some kind to go see if I can get the parts for this. So I know that I will need more. And I was going to put this on hold for a while, now seeing how close I am to being finished the stand. And again, I've got other bags with parts in it that I can maybe raid. I don't think those will be the right kind of parts, if I remember correctly, but it's something. Wow. Okay, I'm surprised we're getting a full one out of this. There's a couple parts away, and we will actually add to the structure of the other one that still needs built up. Oh, that's a surprise. I thought I'd get a couple stacks and then this building part would be done, but no, I'm getting the full thing out of it. So the real question here is, do I have enough parts to go down that slat that's now just been rebuilt or built up? That's a good question. Right, 1 more bit to go on, and we are done that slat. There we go. So we'll see how far I can get with these. We're not going to get very far. Unless I randomly find another stash of these pieces, which I will not happen. I say that, but then I found all these parts and taking down the shelf and moving it across the room. These were under, the bag was sealed under the shelf. So, now what do I know about what? I mean, oh, 2 away from. I'm gonna pinch these 2 here, so that it holds it all, because these do hold that together. So it's really just this chunk here that needs doing. So we'll go with a little bit of parts left from this bag and just build up this bottom bit of structure and see how far that gets. This will not get very far, but why not? Yo, what's up? So I'm better to use these parts to even this out, because it'll mostly be solid bricks I buy, so 1 second. Well, that's it officially on the last of the parts. I will look around and see what else I've got. There's a few other bags that I did uncover. They're not like this bag where it was all just solid bits like this, but yeah, I'll have a look, see what's around. What do you mean? Don't drop pieces. That's not gonna help. I'm thinking what else I've got parts. So I pretty much have done a big gutting of the place over the last week, so I am very familiar with where more things are. So definitely something to look into. Right, final handful in the bag. Let's see how much we get from this. Now that bag got me a fair bit of street live streaming, not to mention it got a lot of progress throughout this project. I don't know if there's a way for me to do that, because the comments don't appear on the TV for some reason. At least for me, because I am the account that streams it. But here's what I'll have a look into it. But that's all that's left, which is a shame because we got so. I did not expect to get this far. This is wow. This is something else. Well, that just goes to show we've made a lot of progress on this. And you know, this is not even what the stream was originally about. So, it's been a fun 2 hours and 40 minutes, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Or do I just stream my cleaning up? You know what? Let's get those extra little views in, why not? Who knows? 5 new people could discover and subscribe to me while I'm cleaning up. Probably not, but it'd be really funny if they did. Why do you subscribe to them? Oh, well, I saw them putting things away. Plus, while I'm doing this, I'll see if I've got any more bags, but I'll give it a few days, see what I can find, and go from there on whether or not I have to go and source parts from websites. I will have to for those grey bits. That I know for a fact I don't have. And if I do, it'll be like the smallest one. I might have a couple, but I know I've not got enough to finish that. Watch me find enough to do it. Like, oh, there's this big red part we could have used that was right behind us. Yeah, I've attached that to it. That's an extra part for progress. I'm going to put my table away. Man, I cannot remember the last one of these I did that got close to 3 hours. Granted, it was probably like a week ago when I moved the room around. That was 3 streams that day, I think. See, like, I've got bags like this that I've not yet gone through, but there could be some parts in this. I've just not had the time to go through that one yet. So yeah, that's just a random example of, hey look, this could be useful. I didn't look through it. I've got this one as well. But there's something in here, you never know. Put that up behind me again. that ATST will have to come over here. Well, we go on the Battle of Endor display anyway. This is the couple other things that will chuck there for now. I'll do more organising to the place probably in a moment. How much? Tiny bit longer on stream. It's a box for Pharaoh's Quest. I don't know what's happening with that yet. There's a great many things I've not figured out what's going to go where and what's going to happen to them yet. So it is all up in the air in a few places. But the thing I'm happiest we got done other than standing is the fact that all of this now makes some sort of sense. Is going to be going up for the rest of the stream. But yeah, to me this is the right amount of progress to have done. The tape measure is going up there for now. Here now. I can go in the bag. Have a quick drink before we continue. That noise made me panic there. It was the tiniest noise as well. But there's pins there because tomorrow's stream I will be putting up some posters. Xbox One controller there. I don't know if I'm going to play more games tonight or that. I think I'm just going to go for a shower and watch some Breaking Bad, but that can go up there. I do mean to buy that. I've not got round to it, but it is on like the list of things I mean to buy. I'll be honest, not enough of the stuff in that wave interested me, so I think the only stuff I bought from that wave, I bought the Jango Fett Slave 1, the small one, and I bought the Arc 170. Those are the only two that appealed to me. But I've got everything sorted as to where I need it. So I will see you guys in tomorrow's stream. Thank you very much for watching.